I stand up in front of you today, and I'm just tickled to death. It's a true honor for me to be the head coach of the Auburn Tigers. I spent 3 years here, and I can honestly say it was the 3 best years of our life for my family, myself, and I feel connected forever being an Auburn man with the Auburn family. I'd like to thank Dr. Googe for this opportunity, Jay Jacobs, thank you for this opportunity, and the search committee. And I want to second the search committee because I've got a chance to interview a lot of different times and all that. This was a different committee, and I was proud to be a former, whether I'd have got the job or not, I was proud to be a former Auburn person and watch the way they went about their business, first class. And it's an honor that they chose me, and I don't take that lightly. I will do everything in my power for the Auburn Tigers to be successful. Our players are going to be great examples for this university, on and off the field. They're going to be men of character. I just got through talking to them. That's the first thing that I expect from them. The winning will take care of itself. We will have a fast-paced offense. I believe this day and time, it's a great advantage. We will run the football, and that will be our staple. We are a run, play, action team. We will have a defense that is attacking. These days, all these spread offenses and the things they do, you've got to have a multiple defense. And we will be attacking in all areas. And it'll be fun for our fans, and we will get this thing turned around. My goal for this is to get this thing turned around to play championship football like Auburn expects. All right, I'd like to open up for any questions.
We'll go ahead at this time. Please raise your hands, members of the media in the back.
Coach, Rick Carley, Fox 6 in Birmingham. You think you have a little bit of a recruiting advantage? While you can't talk about specific recruits, you've recruited a lot of these kids, and some of the blue chippers out there indicating as of late this afternoon that they're still committed to Auburn. Does that give you a little bit of an advantage in that you know a lot of these kids?
Well, we are going to recruit the best players in America that has the best fit for us on and off the field. And I will get familiar with these guys, and we will hit the ground recruiting as soon as this is over with.
James.
Gus, James Crook here from the Montgomery Advertiser. Either to you or to Jay, are you guys able to say the terms, both financially and length of term for this contract?
I'll address those with my question and answer.
Right here.
Yeah, Gus, can you talk a little bit more? Mark Murphy from Inside Advertising. Can you talk a little bit more in detail what you told the team tonight?
Well, first of all, I just told them it's an honor for me to be back as their head coach. I'm very familiar with a lot of them. Matter of fact, I recruited a lot of them and have very good relationships. And I just told them our expectations to win championships. Whatever happened last year happened last year. It's a new day. And our expectations are going to be high. Nobody's going to outwork us. And we're going to put a good brand of football on the field, and we're going to have fun doing it.
JJ.
Hey guys, right here. This is Jay Tate from AuburnSports.com. Hey guys, how you been?
Good.
Just talk about what you learned your year at Arkansas State. Obviously, you learned a lot here, but what do you glean from that 1 year?
Tell you what, anytime, of course, I was a head coach in high school for 15 years, so as far as on the field stuff, it's the same. But for college football, it's off the field that you've got to get used to. It was a great learning experience for me. I learned a lot, and I feel very prepared coming in here.
Back right.
Gus, Scott Griffin, Fox 6, Smash Mouth Radio. I was wondering if you've made any determinations on assistants. Will you interview them or any incumbent? What's your decision?
Tell you what, I'm going to take my time, and I'm going to find the right fit for us. We are going to hire men of character. They're going to be great examples for our players first. And then they're going to be great coaches and great recruiters. So I'm going to take my time to try to get the best person wherever he is.
Mike.
Gus, Mike Breda, ABC 3340 in Birmingham. In that same vein, are you going to give everybody on the current staff an opportunity to work for you? I know guys like Brian Van Gorder said he would love the opportunity to try to turn this thing around from a defensive standpoint.
Well, I'm going to get the best fit for Auburn, no matter whether it's guys that are here, guys that are with me, guys or other places. And I'm going to take my time, and I think that is so important, the staff, and so I'm going to take my time with it.
Get in the middle. Gus James again. Did the NCAA investigation, the pending NCAA investigation, ever come to your thought process when you were considering taking this position?
Yeah, I feel very confident that everything is fine, and that's behind us.
Phil?
Gus, just kind of talk about what your what you'll do after this, what your as you start this process.
Sure. Well, it's going to be recruiting immediately, and to get caught up with everything. Also, it will be hiring staff. It would also be meeting with players. So there's not going to be a lot of time to rest, but this is an exciting time, and really looking forward to it.
Coach Malzahn, Jeff Shear, WSFA Montgomery. In your following up on what JG asked, your time as a head coach, how did you enjoy all the ancillary things in addition to just meeting with and coaching your players as far as?
Well, I enjoy being a head football coach. Like I said earlier, 15 years of being a head football coach, and I got a chance to be a coordinator for 6. So being a head football coach is very natural to me, and last year definitely helped, and I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Gus, this is Mike with the Black Auburn News. Right here. Will you coach Arkansas State in the bowl game, or are you fully committed to Auburn? Right?
You know, we'll still, I need to talk with their administration and all that, but I'll say this, I am 100% committed to Auburn and getting this thing going as soon as possible.
Mark again. That's not Mike, please.
You guys had a really nice season out at Arkansas State, winning the conference championship. Was it tough to leave just a year after getting out there?
Well, I get extremely close to my players, and you know, anytime that you do that, it's tough to leave. Arkansas State was very good to me and my family. The players were unbelievable, and it was tough to say bye. But at the same time, I'm so excited to be here with players, like I said, that I'm already familiar with, and really looking forward to coaching these guys.
Aaron, front center, coach.
Hey, Coach Aaron Brenner, Columbus Ledger-Inquirer. Auburn's offense had a lot of struggles this season in a new pro-style set. How much did you get a chance to watch Auburn either during the season or even in the past few days, and what needs to change for next year?
Yeah, I got a chance to watch very little. I mean, when you're a coach at another team, I mean, you don't have time to watch other teams and TV and all that. So I watched very little.
Back left.
Gus, Mike Breda again. I was just curious, have you spoken with Coach Chizik since he was terminated here? And what were your thoughts as you watched this team struggle, having known everybody on the staff and most of the players on the field? What were your thoughts this fall in terms of any empathy for them?
I've not got a chance to talk to Gene since that, but I will. You know, from afar, I take a lot of pride in Auburn, and I was hurting for him, and I was hurting for him.
Front right.
Gus, Ryan Wood with the Opelika Auburn News. Obviously, you're very familiar with Gene Chizik, and you know that it's only been 2 years since he won a national championship here. For him to be fired within those 2 years, was security a question that arose during this interview process with you?
No, you know, all I'm worried about is what I'm doing moving forward and getting this thing turned around and getting to a championship level. And that's the only thing on my mind, and we're going to get it done. And, you know, obviously there's going to be some challenges, but here's the good thing about it. I know those challenges. I'm very familiar with the personnel, and we're going to get this thing turned around.
Coach Rick Carley, Fox 6, I think you just answered my question. I'll ask it anyway. What would you tell the Auburn Nation, the Auburn family, the one message you want to give them after a tough season? It's been tough. You saw some of the fans leaving games, etc. What's your message?
It's a new day. It's a new day, and my goal is to get Auburn back to a championship level. And like we said 2 years ago, we won a championship. And the expectations of Auburn is to win championships. And so that's my goal, and we're going to do everything in our power to get that done.
Gus, me to get back here. I'm wondering how involved you are defensively, how much you were with Arkansas State. Do you want to hire a guy and kind of leave it be? Do you focus on offense? I know you'll have ultimate oversight, but how do you see that?
I think as a head coach, you have to have a philosophy, and your offense, your defense, and your special teams all has to fit in that philosophy. And like I said, we will be a fast-paced, attacking style offense and defense. This day and time, I believe you have to. And so I will be on top of every area of our team. At the same time, our coaches will be able to coach, but I will be on top of all areas.
Coach Bill Cameron with Tiger Communications, sort of tag teaming on that, following that up. I know you said you're going to take your time, but defensive coordinator, do you have some folks in mind and any kind of sort of timetable as to when you might do that?
Yes, the coordinators are obviously the priority, and that's the goals we'll go after first. And I do have some people in mind, and we'll definitely visit with them.
Raise your hand if you have a question. We'll go to back to center.
Coach, Zay Hakeem with Comcast Sports Southeast. What was your reaction when you arrived at the airport and you saw the various Auburn fans that were there to greet you?
It was unbelievable. It was an unbelievable experience. The Auburn fans are the best in the country, and it hit me right when our plane landed and we saw how many people were there, and it was just it's an unbelievable experience.
Gus, how long have you been talking to the committee, and when did you make the decision that you really wanted to take the job?
Things happened pretty quick. I believe everything's happened probably in the last 3 days, and it was, I believe, mid-afternoon.
Gus, it's Mike again with the Black Auburn News. It's been a rapid ascent, your career, from 6-7 years ago, coaching high school football, from a coordinator to a head coach now at an SEC program. Just talk about that. Just that change in that time period.
Well, first of all, I've been very blessed. At every spot that I've been in, I've been fortunate enough to have great administration, great coaches around me, great players, and the situation is no different. And I feel very blessed to be where I'm at.
John, up front.
How much of an advantage is it just in the transition in the short term to have some guys who've already played in your system, guys you recruited for that system?
I think it's a huge advantage from that standpoint. And not only the offensive guys, I'm very familiar with a lot of the defensive guys, either watching them, helping them recruit. So I'm very familiar with this team. And so I think that will go a long way.
Jason.
Gus, you talked about having philosophy like on offense and defense. Do you have a particular defensive scheme in mind, a 4-3-3-4, or will that kind of depend on what kind of guy you're looking for?
Well, it's got to be multiple. This day and time of just playing one front is extremely tough with all these spread, wide-open offenses, and I think you've got to be able to do both, odd and even, and that's what gives offenses the most trouble.
Gus, yeah, back here in the middle, sorry. Here we go. Yeah. This team had three starting quarterbacks this year. One of them sitting right here in the front of the room. There may or may not be somebody else joining that group. You certainly were part of recruiting some of these young men. Are you able to say at this time who you believe or who you think the starter will be for next season?
No, I have no idea. All positions will be open. I do know that we've got some guys that can execute our offense and that are familiar with our offense.
Philip. Guys, Philip Marshall, Auburn Undercover. Will you call the plays and those things as you have done in the past?
I will be helping with the offense. I can't tell you at this time that I'll actually be calling the plays, but I will be involved. That's the best way to put it.
Coaching far back.
Guys, Christina Chambers, NBC 38. Just kind of talk about, did you go to Hugh Freeze for any advice since you guys kind of had a similar path?
Me and Hugh Freeze go way back. We started college football, I guess, the same year, and we're former high school coaches, and so we talk quite a bit, and we bounce things off each other, and we talk quite a bit to answer your question.
We'll take a few more. Front.
Coach Bill Cameron again. Speaking of timetables, things like that, where do you see Auburn, as far as talent-wise, since you're as familiar as you are with it, being able to turn this thing around?
Well, we do have some talent, and we have some deficiencies. And what I've got to do is identify the deficiencies and address those immediately. And also the mindset. The mindset and expectations physically and mentally of our players. So We got some work to do, but I know the areas we need to improve on, and we're going to address those.
Coach Aaron, again from Ledger Inquirer, I don't know how closely you've looked at next year's schedule, but you'll have a familiar opponent in week 2 with Arkansas State.
Yeah, how about that?
Any early thoughts about that matchup?
Yeah, that's pretty ironic, how that works, and they're going to be a very good team.
We'll take one more before handing it over to Jay Jacobs. Mike?
Gus, I know you don't sleep a lot, so what?
I don't.
How with everything that's going on, when you got hired at Auburn, you were at Tulsa and you were doing the double duty there, and then obviously last year the bowl game doing double duty, and if you do double duty again, how do you keep up, and kind of where are you going to stay grounded as far as it comes to just what you're going to do at Auburn and how you're going to be able to?
Well, like I said earlier, we had crossed that bridge regarding the other thing, but there won't be a lot of sleep. This is a very fun time of year to be coaching, and I don't need much.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. We're going to